Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the very first Monster Legends Comparison Series episode. In this episode, we are going to be comparing two monsters. We're going to be comparing Cavenfish with Caillech. And the way this is going to work is I'm just going to talk about the monsters really quickly, and then if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure you join Discord because that's where I'm going to be taking live calls from. So if you're familiar with Discord, you're just going to go into this voice channel room called the waiting room, and from there I'm just going to be pulling in random people. It's either going to be two more people, or it's going to be one or two more people at a time, and then we're just going to talk about a monster, strength and weaknesses, who's better for offense, who's better for defense, who's better overall, who's worth buying. We're going to discuss questions like, if you could only have one monster, who would you purchase? And hopefully this works out. I'm not exactly sure how long this stream is going to take. It completely depends on how many people are actually willing to call. I know it might be a little intimidating to show your voice on a live stream in front of maybe 100 people, depending on how many people join the stream, right? So we'll see. There are a few rules, three rules that come to mind, maybe two. The number one rule I have is to just please be respectful to one another. For example, if I say something or if someone else says something that you don't agree with, there's no need to bash on that person. There's just no need to be mean to one another. So just, everyone has different opinions. Just be respectful of that. As far as cursing, just be mindful that there are people here that are of younger ages. So try to keep the cursing to a minimum. I don't want to be the type of person that censors you, like you can't curse. Like, I personally don't curse. I don't have a problem with people cursing, but I just want everyone to remember there are younger people watching the stream, so just be mindful of that. And as far as calling, if you call to troll or to just make some joke, depending on what you say, I'll probably remove you from the chat, from the live call. Depending on what you say, I might even ban you from Discord. So again, just be mindful that there are younger audiences. So let's go ahead. Everything is looking fine. I'm just gonna wait for people to join the waiting room, and then we'll pull them up. And I guess I'll start off by talking about Cavenfish. Cavenfish has a power of 3080, his life is 28,651, his speed is 3,454. Caillech, on the other hand, has a power of 3,146, life 28,651, speed 3,465. So, those are the two monster stats. I'm waiting for someone to jump into the waiting room on Discord, and then I can pull them up and we can start discussing who is better. Cavenfish, Caillech. Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think is better, Cavenfish or Caillech? Alright. Let's see. One person joined the waiting room, so I'm going to pull you up. Let's hope this works. Let's really hope this works. Pulling you in. Frizz, are you there? Frizz, welcome. You are the very first person on the official first episode of the comparison series. Your mic is fine. And yeah, chat will let us know if it's not. So, what do you think? Cavenfish, Caillech, who's better and why? Yeah, go for it. Let's try two people. I'm gonna pull someone else. Alright, Frizz. Alright, Death Panda, you're on too. Alright, so, same question I asked Frizz. Who do you think is better? Cavenfish, Caillech, and why do you think they're better? So Cavenfish better for defense, that's your opinion? What makes you say that? What is it about Cavenfish that would make him better for defense? Would you run both of his AoE stun skills, the 50% and the regular one, or just the 100% stun? Okay. So on defense, do you think it'd be good to run the 50% AoE stun or no? Yeah. Probably not, huh? I don't. I don't think Caillech has a drain stamina skill. Oh, oh yeah, Cavenfish does have a 50% stamina drain. So yeah, Cavenfish would be good against Thetis, so it doesn't do stamina devours. So for offense, do you think you guys both think that Cavenfish would also be better? Yes. So if you could only pick one of these monsters to keep with you, like it's either Cavenfish or Caillech, who would you go with? Alright, and this is assuming you have better runes. Let's say you have worse runes than your opponent. Who do you prefer on this case? Yeah, I think you guys are pretty spot on. I would have to agree. Yeah, because Caillech's base speed being like faster than most other water monsters, that gives her a huge advantage. Both are immune to freeze. It's tough. It's tough. If your opponent has, it depends who they have, right? There's always like this. It depends. It sounds fine to me, but I don't know how they're hearing it on their end. Alright, so consensus was Cavenfish is superior for you guys. Alright, so thank you guys for sharing your opinions. I'm gonna be pulling some other people. I'm gonna be removing you guys. Do you guys want to say anything else? Alright, thank you guys for being the very first people on the comparison series. Let's pull up. Let's get Dib in here. Dib, you're on. What's up? Hi, let me pull up one more person. Do you want to pick one person? Can you see the Discord? No? Alright. Alright, let's... Alright. Let's get Demon in here then. Demon, Dib, you guys are on. So, alright, who's better? Cavenfish, Caillech? Who's better in terms of offense? In defense? Who's better overall? And if you could only pick one, who would you pick? And if you could only have one monster, who would you rather go with? Defense, Caillech.
That why Caillech for defense, because she has the skill that gives immunity, stun, and freeze, so that makes Cavenfish useless in wars. But and then Cavenfish for offense, because Caillech, well, it depends if the Cavenfish is faster than the Caillech, so that means the Cavenfish can use the stun move. And then Caillech because of her base speed.
Alright, that it?
Yeah, alright, Dib, what is your opinion?
Alright. My opinion on it. I'm gonna say, well, the first of the offensive thing is totally a player preference. It depends on your comp. Let's say you have, because if you were to fight Caillech in a 1v1, you need something other than stun, because that's all Cavenfish can do to Caillech virtually, is stun. Once he's done stunning, if a Caillech is still there, all she has to do is the AoE supportive move, and Cavenfish can't deny anymore. Unless you're running the Cavenfish curse and you land that slow. That's
if you're lucky.
all about that. Yeah, if you're lucky. That's all of that Like, I literally did that today, actually. I used... and this works on if you're using Caillech on the offense too. Virtually all you have to do, literally, to counter all of Cavenfish stuff, do the supportive move, do the supportive AoE, and you can't be denied. And in terms of they're both deniers, right? So
yeah.
We don't really look towards the deniers for damage. In all actuality, they're not designed to do the damage. They're designed to deny. And Caillech can deny not only freeze, but stun, and also daze. Daze is kind of a random time where you may miss, or you're just won't miss at all.
Yeah.
But you know, there's that 25% chance you'll miss. If I only had to choose one, I'd choose Caillech. Because she can go into any comp, and it's really cool. She also is a really good counter to Varna, too. She's a heavy counter to a lot of water monsters, especially those that just freeze, or just,
Yeah, I mean,
like freeze or daze.
that skill's so powerful. Protection of northern winds. Immunity to freeze, stun, daze, 3 turns.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
really strong, dude.
If we talk about, like, all things being equal, like, no, I have better runes, no, opponent has better runes, base stats, a Caillech would always go first. With the exception of Blob, but no one's running Blob right now.
No one uses Blob.
Yeah, they should, but that's in like particular wars where it's like water, some other element in common. Blob would be good, deny the enemy water, and you can move on. So it's tough because in a game that's dominated by runes, I think I would say Cavenfish would be superior because as long as you're better, you can freeze. But if we're talking about like everyone has like level 10 runes, I'd say Caillech takes it.
Caillech. I also run like I know I'm in the newest and middle class area. I also run a life rune on Caillech, because basically so as long as she's not dead, I virtually can't be denied. I'll always be able to move.
On you run.
Well, it depends on the AI.
Yeah,
Depends on the AI. What
Yeah,
it does.
like, of course it depends on the
Yeah,
other guy
yeah.
too. But yeah,
If I mean I see your point. Like even if the enemy, I mean, but then the main enemy waters now are Frostbite and Thetis, which can easily deny a Caillech, especially one with a life rune.
oh yeah, like on defense you totally want something. You want more. You want the full speed. You want full package, Caillech or something like that for that situation. But I'm just saying that's kind of what I do. I mean, it was a silly thing, you know. But you get the sustainability point. It also stacks really well with life regen, like AoE life regen. So like things like Gretchen and Demise. It totally depends on your build count. You can have multiple Caillechs or something like that, depending on your situation.
All right, do you guys want to say anything else?
Yeah, so I guess it depends. It totally depends if you are in the like situation of who you want to buy. It totally depends on your playstyle.
That's true.
Like Cavenfish can, with Cavenfish, he can do for a lot of mainstream water deniers. If it's like if it's like something immune to freeze, he can only stun it. If it's immune to stun, he can only freeze it. And then that's actually better. You know, he can change. I think he can chain freeze, can he? Like one. Oh, actually, he can't. Yeah.
Can he?
I think you have to cycle between. I think Caillech's a safe choice. If
Round rain is 3, bullet rain is 3. And then, 3 cooldowns on his AoE freeze and stun.
Yeah, nobody runs Cavenfish curse. Not a whole lot of people run Cavenfish.
I don't think I would.
I like
Cavenfish. No,
I like for
it's
fun.
50% for everything. It's like like freeze is the only thing you want to land, and slow, but slow's 20%.
You're crossing your fingers at that point. That's whatever I do. Whatever you say. I kind of want to do with the memes and hope I land the freeze.
Well, the
I get lucky
slow
with that.
is pretty bad because like when the slow is gone, like they get an extra turn.
Yeah, you gotta kill them at that point. They shouldn't
Yes.
be alive still at that point.
Yeah, that's true. If they're slowed, you should hopefully win. If not, it's slow, which just messes with the game somehow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, then, guys. Thanks for coming on. I'm gonna be pulling more people.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Terra Crank, you're on, and Jupiter, JP, you guys are on.
I am playing Pokemon Duel. Oh crap.
Do you want me to pull someone else up?
Nah, it's fine.
You're good? All right. Terra, you're on too.
Nice, cool.
All right. So, finally working today. I want to get your guys' opinion. Cavenfish, Caillech, who's better for offense? Who's better for defense? Who's better overall?
I say offense would probably be Cavenfish.
Jupiter says Cavenfish for offense. Terra?
I say the same.
Same. And what makes you say Cavenfish?
Well, he has an AoE stun and an AoE freeze, which will help a lot.
Well, that's the same thing with Caillech. Like, she can only freeze. That's the only thing she can do.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Assume all things are equal. So, assume like you had level 10 runes, level 10 speed runes on your deny, and the enemy had level 10 speed on deny. Would you guys still run Cavenfish then?
I would run Cavenfish.
You'd still run Cavenfish?
I'd still probably want Cavenfish.
Interesting. Is the assumption that the enemy water monster is going to freeze and Cavenfish immune to freeze, then you can stun and make a comeback, or what?
Well, it's because Caillech well, she can give immunity to stun, freeze, and daze, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, Caillech does her thing. The enemy denier goes, nothing happens to you, okay?
Mhm.
So, then what's your next problem? You didn't deny the enemy attacker or support monster.
Well, if you have Cavenfish's curse, you can use it on the attacker.
Would you really though? It's a
You gotta try
50% freeze and
Yeah.
daze and slow.
Well, the main problem is with her, she doesn't really deny, she just denies the enemy denier, not really the attacker and support monster, and that's one of her problems.
Alright, I see what you're saying. Alright, let's go through a scenario then. Okay, so you run Cavenfish, enemy runs Caillech, and let's say the enemy attacker is faster than your attacker, right?
Yeah.
So enemy Caillech goes first, and let's say it does AoE freeze. Then your attacker's frozen, your Cavenfish can go and do AoE stun. You'd probably win at that point, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you probably win.
Basically, yeah.
Alright, different scenario. Caillech, instead of doing AoE freeze, does protection of northern winds. What do you do with Cavenfish?
Corsair offensive, trying to
Drain
get rid of that
stamina. Alright, yeah, good.
Well, instead of that, I could use my supporter skill, my attacker, board her.
That's true, that's true. So what is
Well,
Cav...
You depend on your attacker being faster.
Let's assume the enemy attacker's faster.
Well, the attacker's probably gonna attack the common or uncommon, depending on the rarity.
Yeah, that's true. There's so many variables.
Well, it could do an AoE, but I don't think your attacker would die.
Well, there are some attackers with immobilizing skills, but that's a problem.
Yeah, I think it's always important for an attacker to have an immobilizing, just for those kind of situations where it's like, in case your immobilizer fails, your attacker can take over. Even if he doesn't one hit, he can still immobilize.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, like, I see the benefit of Cavenfish. He's so great being able to stun. That gives him a huge advantage. But the base speed of Caillech is just what I love.
Yeah, that speed's awesome.
Those 11 points, like 11 points make a huge difference.
Yeah, 11 points different.
On defense though, who would you guys run?
Let's still go for Cavenfish.
Cavenfish?
Yeah, I'd probably do Cavenfish as well. Because
Like I
the
said-
AI can't do anything wrong except for like board her
Like I
or something.
said, Caillech can only freeze. That's one of her problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it is water.
I think, to me, it matters, like, if the AI was to be like, if you could somehow make it so AI always does protection of northern winds first, that'd give you a huge advantage, because base speed being faster, all things being equal, Caillech goes first. If you run Cavenfish can't do anything except stamina drain. And then the Caillech still has freeze for the attacker. It's tough.
Well,
It's tough.
you still can't control the AI.
Yeah, that's the
sadly.
problem. That's the problem.
Sadly.
Do you guys believe that some people think that if the position of the orders, you put the skills, that determines what the AI does? Do you guys think that's true?
No. But if your allies have the same speed, then the position matters. Who goes first.
I think it still goes random.
Yeah, I'm a believer that it's random too.
Yeah.
Or not random, but there's some algorithm where the AI does what is, like, I'm doing air quotes, like what is the best move. Like usually it's taking out the common just so you have a 3 against 2 battle.
They need to change that.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you could only pick one monster, Jupiter, who would you pick to have for the whole game? Caillech or Cavenfish?
Cavenfish most likely.
Cavenfish, interesting. And you, Terra Crank?
I say also Cavenfish.
Alright, so more votes for Cavenfish. I honestly thought Caillech was gonna take it, but there's more love for Cavenfish. Oh, this is interesting.
He's like a deny and supporter at the same time. He can give like the precision and damage as well.
Well, Caillech can also support. That's what you have to give her.
Yeah, she has
Yeah.
a stamina regeneration skill, right? Also, cold blood.
Yeah,
Cold blood.
Precision and energy regeneration.
Stamina, yeah.
I'd take the damage boost over the stamina regen.
She can freeze in days too. The days could sometimes come in handy too. It's a. Please.
But kind of sort of deny. Not really much, but it reduces the chance that you will get hit.
25%.
True. That is a lot.
All right. Any last thing you guys want to say?
I guess that's enough from us.
That's enough. All right. I'm gonna be pulling in more people. Thank you guys for being a part of this comparison series episode.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Anytime.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Just Timber and Jacob, you guys are on. Are you guys there? Jacob, just. All right, let's get Donald. Donald. Can you guys hear me? Donald, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right,
Hello?
Donald. Let me bring Anthony. Hey, Anthony. Donald. You guys are on live.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Who do you think is better?
in my opinion, just because I have Cavenfish, I would usually just go for, in my experiments, Caillech.
Yeah.
For me, I would say, like I have neither monsters, but to me, I think the best offense monster would be Cavenfish.
And why Cavenfish? Are you guys still there?
Yes, I'm there, sir.
Okay, so do you want to defend your claim on which monster is better and why?
Yes, I would say Caillech, just because that one skill protection on the wins. No matter what the AI chooses, if the AI chooses that skill, that means a lot of immobilizers, can't deny you, and that gives the AI more advantage against you, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that faster base speed with protection is a really good combination. It matters, I guess, or go for it.
Like my common team is I have a Tamirian, a Boltic, and I have a General Thetis, and I have my General Thetis to level 110 with all speed 5s. The thing is, even with the base speed, I've seen that a lot of times that Caillech Caillech's ultimate is just so annoying because it freezes and uses stamina. So that's basically 2 rounds where you can't do anything, especially for my Voltic, and it really screws up my Tamirian too.
Oh yeah, the Ultra Frost. I forgot about special skills. Ultra Frost, like skills wise, Caillech is one of the best in the whole entire game. Freeze and stamina drain. That is crazy.
And I honestly remember coming out into the game, and it was just like, and I remember checking on the wiki, and I was just, I was just amazed by what I saw. I wanted her so badly, but I do not have her yet, sadly.
All right, hopefully one day you can get her.
Yeah, I'm just trying to save up the gems. I have like 125 now.
All right, you're almost there. As soon as she goes on offer.
Yeah, and another thing about Cavenfish is, what's this, Letter Rain. Hello?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that skill? Because I'm kind of neutral about it.
So at first I didn't like it because 50% chance of stunning, even though it's an AoE, like that rarely lands. However, I guess I didn't like the skill at first, but seeing it when I used to use Timerion a lot in player versus player, and I used to go against enemy Cavenfish, every time that Cavenfish would always use Lead Rain, and it would actually stun my monsters, and I'm like, well, now I'm in trouble. My attacker's stunned. So I think for a defensive build, Lead Rain can be pretty powerful, especially if it's against like metal monsters like a Timerion.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for defense, yeah, go for it.
No, I'm sorry. You can go.
Oh yeah, I think like every single monster, if you're running for offense, it's a completely different skill set than if you're running for defense. Or not every monster, but a majority of the monsters. Like there's certain skills you want only on defense, certain skills you want only on offense, and Cavenfish is one of them.
Yeah, so that's probably the reason why you sometimes see like because in my trophy level I'm like at 4,000, and thing is I rarely see him anymore. I mostly see like 130 General Thetis. And,
yeah, I experienced that too.
Like one time it actually took me 5 whole minutes to find an opponent fight.
Yeah, I see.
So,
or go for it.
the thing, like I noticed like at like my brother played this game. He's like in the 2000s,
Hmm.
and with those monsters, I feel like like they've actually like giving us many opportunities. I feel like they're giving us more opportunities to buy or or get Cavenfish in events and in the shops. So I feel like a lot of like lower level, not too low level, but a lot of low level players use him because like they're looking for that one immobilizer and I feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So in more competitive play, you would think Caillech would be better than Cavenfish to use?
Yeah, just because of protection under the winds and ultra false.
Yeah.
Those are the two components that just make her amazing. She could be like any other immobilizer, just like a regular, but like she was. And what's her supportive skill? I can't remember the name of it. It's like cold blood.
Cold blood, yeah.
Yeah, like that can be really good for Voltics. Like it's insane for Voltics. 50% accuracy and a stamina drain. I mean a stamina regeneration. You're basically just dead for the whole PvP round.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, and I
So
believe,
yeah,
go for it.
that's all I have to say. Unless you have anything else to say.
All right, no, I was actually gonna ask. I think Donald's on the call too. I don't know if Donald wants to say anything. No, he left the call actually. All right, so do you want to say any last thing?
Yeah. I have a question for anybody else who joins on here.
Go for it.
I don't want to be too off topic, but if anybody has Barbatos, can you tell me why would you run Master Pain and Demon Heart? I'm just that's just a question that baffles me.
You know what? I'm gonna ask that question. Everyone who's listening to this live stream, in the chat, answer that question. Why would you run a Barbatos with both Demon Heart and Master of Pain?
Cause you know what that is. You know what it is.
It'll kill you, right? It's the one that takes 25 Demon Heart, and Master of Pain takes away 30% of your health.
That's 55% of your health. So
Yeah.
basically, so next round you're basically like screwed.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what people say in the chat. Keep an eye on the chat.
All right, thank you. I'm really glad I'm glad to be here.
All right, no,
on the chat.
thanks for calling. Hopefully you can join us on the next one too.
Can't wait till you hit 15,000, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, see you later.
All right, later. All right, that was nice. Blobs, you are on. No, Blobs,
Hey.
you are not on. Oh, you are on. Hey,
Yeah, what's up?
how's it going?
I'm doing good.
Awesome, awesome. Let me try to pull one more person, see if they're there. Jacob, are you there too? Jacob, maybe he's AFK. All right, Blobs, who do you think is better? Cavenfish, Caillech, and why?
I gotta go with Cavenfish.
Hello.
Oh, Jacob. Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
All right. So I was just asking Blobs, who's better, Cavenfish or Caillech? He said Cavenfish. What do you think?
oh, me?
Jacob, are you there?
Hi.
Hi.
Jacob?
I would choose Cavenfish.
So 2 votes for Cavenfish. Can you guys defend your reason why?
Okay, for my reason why Cavenfish, because Cavenfish has both round range and bullet range, so you got the AoE stun and AoE freeze. Usually when it comes down to when I go against Cavenfish, it usually ends up me having my whole entire team getting frozen or stunned. Either way, even if I have like someone who's immune to freeze, they either always somehow the AI always chooses AoE stun, and either way I get screwed over, and I just fear Cavenfish a lot more than Caillech, because Caillech for me, like when I go against Caillech, I don't even have either of these two monsters, but whenever I go against Caillech, it always ends up like Caillech always goes for like AoE freeze or a single freeze, so it's like Caillech is more predictable in my opinion to go against. Cavenfish is kind of like a mixed bag. Like I don't know if he's gonna go for
the freeze or the stun.
yeah, the freeze or stun,
Yeah,
or in
it's more
some
frightening.
cases,
I see.
yeah.
What about the fact that, like, let's say you were facing Cavenfish on defense? With Caillech, you'd be able to start the game off with protection of Northern Winds, and it doesn't really matter what Cavenfish does to you. You're safe.
Yeah, if I had, I think like when it goes down to that, then I would be more safer if I had Caillech. But as I said, I have neither both of them, so my only way of like denying both of them would be just using general deities to try to outspeed them with stamina drain.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it comes, and even then I'm kind of scared for Cavenfish's AoE stun, and that usually, or Caillech's ultimate. I'm thinking it comes down to which ultimate I'm scared of the most. Caillech is probably is gonna kill me the most.
Yeah, that freeze and energy drain, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pretty much like I'm done for for that.
Definitely. All right, Jacob, what about you?
For I would choose Cavenfish for offense
Mm-hmm.
and Caillech for defense.
Mm-hmm.
Just because when you have Cavenfish, when he's AI, you don't know if he's gonna do the stun or the freeze.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're attacking, you can choose. So it will be because you can choose, because if you're facing mostly water, then you just do the AoE stun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yep, I feel the same way.
Would you guys actually put a Caillech on defense? Do you think that's wise, considering Caillech, it has protection, which is an amazing skill, but the other skill is AoE freeze, and you most likely the enemy water monster will be immune to freeze, or to be at Thetes, and there's no countering Thetes other than like stamina drain. Is Caillech a wise monster to put on defense?
In my opinion, no, because it's kind of, in my opinion, every time I've seen like a Caillech, I go against Caillech, it either does I rarely see it go for protection Northern Winds as the first turn. It always goes for like AoE freeze or a single freeze against like my common, rare, or uncommon.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Do you think it's like the way the game is set up, the algorithm, it always attacks the common or the uncommon, so maybe Caillech is inclined to do AoE freeze, so that works against you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It goes. Yeah, when it goes on if I had a choice of who I want to put defense, Cavenfish definitely, because he seems like the AI wants to lean towards the AoE's like freeze or stun.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, Cavenfish is going to has better chance of like denying the enemy team, and then giving my defense team like the biggest chance of like surviving.
All right, Jacob, any thoughts on that?
Well, a lot of times people use Frostbite for offense. And if you had 3 level 10 speed runes on both Frostbite and Caillech, and Frostbite isn't immune to freeze, and I see Frostbite a lot more than Cavenfish when I'm attacking. So I would run Caillech for defense just for that reason.
I mean, even Cavenfish, I believe, has a faster base speed than Frostbite, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And
does he?
Yeah, I think I want to. This is off the top of my head. 3421 or 3201. I can actually pull it up.
Yeah, Cavenfish is faster.
Yeah, Cavenfish
Frostbite
is pretty fast.
3,421, and Cavenfish is 3,454.
So I would say you're better with Cavenfish on defense because you have the chance to stun, you have the chance to freeze. Whereas with Caillech, it's either if you land that freeze or if you don't, you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with like Cavenfish.
All right, so Cavenfish. All right, do you guys want to say any last minute thing?
Not really.
No, Jacob?
Not really.
All right, well, thank you guys for being both on the stream.
Yeah, no, yeah, thank you.
All right, Anthony, are you there?
Oh, hello, yeah.
Oh, hey, I brought you back in. That was an accident, I think. Do you want to say anything since I accidentally brought you back in?
I think I just rather wait until you guys have been discussing.
All right, then. All right, I'm going to take you back to the waiting room.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. All right, so, if anyone wants to join the waiting room on Discord, go ahead and join, and I can drag you in here. So right now, I honestly came into this thinking that Caillech was going to win because of the faster base speed, because of protection of the Northern Winds. But from what everyone's been saying, like, the common consensus is to go for Cavenfish. Just because Cavenfish has AoE stun, Cavenfish has AoE freeze. So on defense, considering you don't know what the AI is going to do, and typically when it's like common or uncommon, the AI always tends to try to take out that monster. So it'll most likely do it with some sort of immunity skill, right? An AoE skill. So Caillech, chances are it won't be doing that protection of the northern winds. It'd be smart if the AI could do that, but it's not possible. So it looks like Cavenfish is winning. I'm going to wait around a little and see if anyone else wants to join the waiting room, and then we can discuss. But yeah, Cavenfish is winning. And then one thing that occurred to me as I was talking to everyone, Social Point is releasing a lot of monsters that aren't water monsters and have immunity to freeze. These are monsters such as Taiga, it's a light monster. Hercule, it's a metal monster, immune to freeze. So imagine situations where it's like you go off, you're facing the water monster who's probably immune to freeze, and it's light, and they put a Taiga. So now that's 2 enemy monsters already immune to freeze. Caillech won't be able to immobilize any of them, whereas with Cavenfish, you at least still have the stun. So I think that's another consideration, and something else in favor for Cavenfish. This is interesting. This is actually really interesting. And in the comments, Ozzy is really protecting Caillech. Let's see, faster base speed. Yeah, the base speed is something. But in a game that really favors runes, and being able to outspeed your opponent, Cavenfish, I think the skills, skills are probably, like Frostbite is a great example. Frostbite has a terrible base speed, but at least in with respect to the other water monsters, but it's just the skills that are so good about him that makes him like a top tier monster. So if anyone is watching the live stream now and wants to join Discord, join the discussion, give your 2 cents on who's better, Cavenfish or Caillech, now would be the time to do so. Now would be the time. Oh, whoops, I got out of Discord. And even the monster for defense, I guess people said the Cavenfish. Cavenfish is basically the consensus for offense, for defense, overall. So, if anyone wants to, there's still 3 people. I've talked to all of you. If anyone else wants to join, now is the time to do so. And then I also want to get feedback from all of you guys. What do you think about this stream? Do you like the idea? Did you not like it? Was it not what you expected? Or what can I do differently to change it? I know I had some audio problems at the very beginning with my first 2 callers. I apologize. I'm actually going to bring you back. Frizz and Death. I brought you guys back because we had audio problems in the beginning.
Hello?
Hey, I brought you guys back because we had audio problems in the beginning. Do you guys want to give your opinion on these 2 monsters again?
We can if you want us to.
Yeah, or I don't know if you guys were listening to the stream. Did your guys' opinion change by anything you guys have heard? Like, anything at all?
My opinion changed for offense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Caillech would be better because of her immune to stun and freeze.
Because of her protection of the northern wind skills?
Yes.
Alright, and what about you, Death?
I gotta stay with Cavenfish for the
Cavenfish?
and offense.
Alright, so give me, Frizz, give me a scenario where Caillech would be better to use. Like, why is protection of the northern winds so good for you for offense? That it made you change your opinion?
One sec, let me find a hero to use as an example.
Yeah, go for it. And then one thing that a few people brought up for me was their alts. Cavenfish versus Caillech ultimates. Caillech just takes it. It is such a great ult.
That's what I have to agree with. Caillech's ultimate is
Ultra Frost. It's insane. Freeze all enemies, removes all stamina from targets. That is crazy good.
That's a better ultimate because it can keep them immobilized for 2 turns.
Yep.
Or 1 if they're immune to freeze.
Okay, so let's say that the team war was earth and water.
Alright.
The enemy team has a Minotaurus. If you have the first round, you can apply the... I don't know what the skill is
Protection.
called.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you brought up a good point that I should have brought up to more people. Earth monsters tend to stun a lot, and water monsters tend to freeze a lot. This is an example where you want someone like Caillech. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, because even if you run Cavenfish can stun, oh, sorry, Earth monster is immune to stun. Cavenfish can freeze. Sorry, Water monster is immune to freeze. So that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up, Frizz.
That kind of changed my whole opinion.
It's always this thing with Monster Legends. Like lots of monsters are very situational, and it's hard to say like who's better overall when there's the one monster that can be specifically good for a certain war. How about defense?
Because, like, if
Oh,
you
yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Cavenfish would be a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
For defense, I think that Cavenfish would be better.
Mm-hmm. And why is that?
Because even though there's a small chance that it may happen, Cavenfish may use Lead Rain while on defense on maybe their enemy attacker.
Mm-hmm.
And then use Bullet Rain use Bullet Rain first on the first round.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm gonna bring one more person in here. Hopefully it doesn't get too crowded, and I want to hear their opinion on it. Night Doom, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Alright, awesome. So your opinion, Cavenfish versus Caillech, who is better and why?
Personally, I would prefer Caillech, honestly.
Oh, awesome, a Caillech fan. And why is that?
I'm pulling up Monster Wiki right now.
Go for it.
So she's faster than Cavenfish, that's for one thing.
Yes.
And in the supportive sense, she's much better than Cavenfish because of let's see, Cold Blood and protection of the northern winds, especially the protection.
Mm-hmm.
With freeze and stun immunity, and she has the AoE freeze and 2 single target freezes, which is also good.
That's true.
And honestly, at least people like have been arguing that like Cavenfish has both AoE stun and AoE freeze, but honestly, to me the AoE stun doesn't matter too much because so many monsters are immune to stun, so that's pretty much my reasoning behind that.
That's true. There's more monsters immune to stun that are immune to freeze. However, there's more water monsters immune to freeze than immune to stun. I think Varna's the only one immune to stun.
Well, that's true, but she has that even if they are immune to freeze, she still has protection of the northern wind. So if she can't immobilize the enemy water monster, then she can at least still do protection and at least allow the other monsters not to get frozen or stunned.
That's very true. Anyone else want to say anything about that? About Night Doom's opinion?
I think it's a pretty solid opinion.
It is.
Alright, let me tell you guys this though. What is the common monster you see on defense when it's a water though?
I mostly see Cavenfish.
I see Thetis.
Thetis, alright.
Yeah.
Thetis? So who's better to counter a General Thetis?
I believe that Cavenfish would be better for General Thetis, since if Cavenfish goes, Cavenfish can remove all stamina from Thetis, making her unable to use stamina devourers.
I would say Caillech because Cold Blood. It has stamina regen. Stamina regen.
Oh, interesting. You're countering General Thetis by giving your team stamina regeneration. That is a unique way to look at it. That's pretty awesome. What do you guys have to think about that? Or say about that?
That was a really good point to bring up.
I think, like, if you're gonna pick one, it depends who the other, like, legendary monster is.
Yeah, it always depends. I mean, energy regeneration will restore 27 stamina, and while that is nice, how many monsters have 27 stamina skills?
Normally, like, a monster will have 30 stamina.
Or I see 28 plus. There's a few that have 27. There's some surprising monsters that are like 25 for some reason. So with particular teams, I see the argument for Caillech. That is an interesting point, one that I had never thought of. Countering Thetis with energy regeneration, that is a unique look at it.
I'm looking at the skills. Sadly, none of her skills are 27 stamina, so
Yeah,
she'll still have to recharge
She
anyway.
would have to recharge. And you know what sucks? I'm pretty sure that 140 stamina times 20% is 28 stamina. But for some reason they recovered 27. Like, maybe in the game it's 19%. That's why. If it was 28 stamina, that like energy regeneration would work with so many skills. It would have so much synergy.
It's true.
All right, so since Death and Frizz are here, based on what Night Doom said, do you guys want to change your opinion to Caillech being the overall better monster, or are you sticking with Cavenfish? Or I know Frizz said Caillech, right?
Yeah.
So do you guys want to
staying with Cavenfish.
stay in? So Death says Cavenfish, Frizz says Caillech,
I'm staying with Caillech.
and Night Doom brought up some pretty amazing points as to why Caillech is the superior monster. So awesome. Thank you all. Is there anything you guys want to say?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Night Doom, how about you?
I don't have anything else.
All right. Well, thank you for coming.
All right.
You brought up some great points on Caillech. Let's see what people have to say in the chat. Later. Moo Cop, you are on. Oh shoot. Echo.
Hello.
Hey. So
Hi.
same question for that I've been asking everyone. Oh, I can hear myself in the background.
Hi. Yeah, I think Cavenfish is better.
Why is that?
He has AoE stun and AoE freeze. I know this has been brought up many times.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were to have, he also has a 0 cooldown, 50% move, 50% chance of stunning, so that can be spammed. And if also if he uses that first, then I believe that when it stuns them, they don't get recently stunned.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I believe that was fixed. Or I've been told.
I think that Caillech has only really 2 good moves, though.
And what's that?
Protection of the Northern Winds and her polar and permafrost.
The AoE freeze?
Yep.
Alright, so if you could only pick one of these two monsters, I'm assuming you'd go with Cavenfish.
Yep.
Alright. Anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Alright, thank you for being on the call. Alright, so interesting thing, because as soon as Night Doom came on and brought up some interesting points about Caillech, the fact that we all know General Thetis is a common monster we'll see on defense, and Thetis, although she can't really stop a General Thetis the way Cavenfish can, using his AoE or using his stamina drain skill, using what skill? Corsair Offensive. It drains 50% stamina. That'll stop a Thetis from doing stamina devours. However, Caillech can do Cold Blood, which would actually give your team energy regeneration, and it'll also give them increased accuracy. So even if your stamina gets drained, at least you'll get 27 stamina back. And some monsters do actually have skills that use up 27 stamina. So I guess potentially Caillech could work. I guess it would depend. It's kind of tough because both monsters, they can try to stun or they can try to freeze a General Thetis. 35% of the chance though, it's probably not going to work. So this is interesting. I think what I'm going to do, I don't know if I can do it now that I'm live, but I'm asking everyone to come back to this video, and at the very start of the video, I'm going to have a poll asking everyone who's better, Caillech or Cavenfish. As of right now, I want to say that Cavenfish is in the lead. I think Night Doom brought up some really good points for Caillech. There was also another point brought up about if it's an Earth-Water war, who's better to run. Cavenfish has stun and freeze. Okay, no matter what AoE you use, one of the monsters isn't going to be immobilized. Caillech, on the other hand, can use protection of northern winds, protect your whole team from stun and freeze. So the enemy doesn't really matter what they do. Now you can bring up arguments like but the enemy attacker will be a Brontis. Brontis can Mega Stun. So you know what? It's really hard to say. I don't know. That's why I'm gonna do a poll. Please come back to this video, vote in that poll. I'll release the results in the next comparison series, and we'll go from there. I want to thank everyone who was a part of this stream. Thank you so much for making this live stream a success. I think it was a success. You guys let me know in the comments below. I'm also gonna be on Discord, chatting with everyone in the general chat. So if you want to be in a giant group and just talking about the monsters, talking about this video, please join Discord and we can communicate there. With that being said, once again, thank you all for being a part of this stream. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Any feedback, please let me know. I'm going to do my best to read the comments. One thing is that chat does disappear after the stream ends. Not immediately after, but after a while it does end. So I'm bringing it up to you guys. So please go on the video, vote in the poll, and then also leave your feedback on what you thought about this live stream. How can I make it better? Is there anything I can do differently? Also, I think I'm going to do 2 polls actually. The next poll is going to be voting on what monsters you want to see next, or what 2 monsters you want to see compared. I'm seeing already some comments for Voltic and Zyla. I saw one earlier for Cavenfish and Frostbite. So many different topics we can talk about, so please be sure to go to the video again and vote. With that being said, thank you everyone for coming, and like always, remember to have a great day or a great night depending where you live, and dream big and pursue your passions.